got the 3.3 liter V6, which was optional on the LE. You couldn't get it on the base, I don't think. You might have been able to, but I think it was during this period of time Chrysler liked to do a lot more packages. You could only get things if you got the package. And I want to say you could only get the LE if you got or you could only get the V6 3.3 liter if you got the LE. It's got, the guy who I bought it from put a brand new battery in it, but I think it's a little too small for this car because it doesn't like to start up. Regardless of temperature, it takes a couple seconds to crank. You know, it's got R12 refrigerant, you know, Freon, so I got to get that changed. Luckily, knock on wood, it blows ice cold still, you know, like I'd expect. You know, and it's clean in here. It's got some dirt. I need to get it cleaned. You know, I think I'm going to take it up and get it like fully detailed all the way around. There's a place that does that up the street. It's got the spring assisted hood, which is nice. You don't have to like put a stick on it, or you know, it's not even hard to open. And then you just basically push it down until that doesn't hold anymore and it shuts right down. Show you the inside, the interior. Got a blue velour interior, which I like. You know, you could get the Mark Cross, the leather, but that's just, it gets too slidey and hot in the summer. This isn't the original stereo. When I bought it, it just had a CD stereo that didn't work at all. I could never get it to do anything. So I looked online, figured I'd just get, you know, something. But all they sell now for replacement stereos are, you know, gaudy, and they light up and they do all these things you don't need. I wanted something that looked original. Didn't care if it had a tape player or CD player, you know. So I was looking on eBay, and for some weird reason, this stereo for the Chrysler cars, there's like a market of them that people take them and they put auxiliary inputs in it. So it's got an auxiliary input. I paid more than I should have right after I bought the car for this, before knowing if it was in good shape or not. But it works. You can see, you know, 504, and you got the tape deck, CD, the balance, you know. This car, the stereo, it's sort of weird. There's a lot of weird things about this car that I've never been able to figure out. The stereo that was in there beforehand, the CD one, said Infinity on it. And, you know, Chrysler did the Infinity. But I had to replace the speakers up front here, and they are not Infinity speakers. And as you can see, it has the speaker wheels up here, but I'm not going to take it off right now. There's no speakers under there. It's only got 4 speakers. Now, as you can see, the padded dash material has detached and it's starting to rise up. It was worse when I first bought it. I put this duct tape, which in the heat and sunlight, it doesn't really work at all. Which, yeah, I mean, doesn't look pretty, but it you know, you can see out of the car, which was my main thing. Whenever I first got it, it stuck up to like right here and you couldn't see out. I ordered a padded dash cover off of the internet to put on it, and I figure hopefully that won't look bad. And if it looks too bad, this stuff is just, you know, rubber. I can come in here with a razor knife and take off this last inch or so. I don't really want to do that, but worst comes to worst. She's got an airbag. I don't think it works. The airbag light's been on since I bought the car, but I'm not worried about it, which I know sounds horrible. I don't want an airbag, but I looked at older cars. I could have bought an older car, so the airbag was, you know, a perk. But the thing is, I've heard from people that these early, you know, first generation airbags are almost more dangerous than modern ones. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not claiming to be an expert on anything I say about these cars, but I've heard that. So since that's not a thing on the state inspection, I thought it was. It's not. I'm not worried about it at this point, because I figure if it is just I need to get a new airbag and it's more dangerous, there's no fuse to take out, you know. It's got air conditioning, like I said. It doesn't have the digital thermostat, you know, where you just set a temperature and it automatically keeps it. It doesn't have that. But to a point, I'm happy. You know, this car has a lot of power features. I like the power features, but, you know, as you can see, it's got power seats, which is great. But I worry because, you know, if they go bad, you can't move your seat anymore. You know what I mean? So I got it in the position I like to sit in, and I don't move it. I don't like to let other people drive it who are a different height than me, because I don't want to have to, you know, risk it breaking, you know. As you can see, whenever I bought this car, you know, I'm 16, 17 years old, I had certain requirements for a car, and this car really fits all of them. One of the things I wanted was I wanted a console shifter. I know it doesn't really matter, but I like the, you know, people talk about how they like to have feeling when they're using their cars. Whenever you have one of the little console, or not console, I guess floor-mounted shifters, doing this, going, you know, reverse, that doesn't feel like you're doing anything. It's just, it's a smooth, easy, you know, thing, and that's fine for some people. But this, you know, you do it, and it's clunk, 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 and that's nice. You know, you feel professional. You know, it's got little horn buttons that they did in the 90s. It has cruise control. Don't know if it works. I've never used it. It's got the power mirrors. You know, power windows, power locks. Does not have a keychain remote, or I didn't get one with it. That was an option. You know, they could have just lost it. I keep meaning to take it into the keyless shop at Sears that we have down here and let them look at it, because I called and they said they'll be able to tell if it has a receiver, and if it does, they should be able to program me a new key. The headliner is a complete fail, you know, which is, I've never seen that before. Normally you just have part of it sagging, but this has failed all the way across. I didn't put the pins in it. That was the guy I bought it from, and these are not the best pins because they let gravity win. They're always falling out, and I have to redo it. I have a guy, or not a guy, a shop that said they'll repair it. It's more than I'd like to spend, but I figure they'll have the best chance of doing a good job, and as the old adage says, if they break it, they pay for it. It does have this roof console with the lights. It doesn't have the trip computer, which, like I said, there's a lot of odd things about this car. It's the LE, it has a lot of packages, but it doesn't have the memory for the power seats. Like I said, it doesn't have the infinity stereo. It doesn't have the thermostatic, I know that's not the right word, thermostat. I know the thermostat. It does have the power dimming mirror, which I've never, I mean, it's on, I don't know if it works, I've never noticed the difference. It does have the leather wrapped steering wheel, which is in really good shape, not necessarily because they held up. As you can see, it's worn, but because whoever had it before me must have been one of those people that just, you know, drove like this. I'm a 10 and 2 man, or yeah. So these areas, they still feel nice. It's smooth. It's not sticky like you get, not that, you know, they're sticky, but you know, it has the chrome around the keyhole here, which again, it's got the ashtray. I don't smoke. I don't think it was ever smoked in. You know, it works. Pops in, pops out. It's got the big glove box that, you know, you can open it up. And it's just got a bunch of paperwork from all the work I had done on it. This is neat. Show you this. This came with it originally. As you can see, you know, the little Pentastar and all. And this is where the original people bought it. This is still here. It's not a Dodge dealership anymore. Here we have the manual. You can see it's a 91 Dynasty. This isn't the original manual. I ordered this online. I couldn't find it. Didn't come with it. It came with this. Look, it didn't come with the manual. What it did come with, and these are neat, are these little key blanks that I don't know 100% what these are for. They don't mention them in the manual. I've Googled it and can't find it. You know, it says for emergency use only. My guess is you can take these to, like, a hardware store and they'll cut a key on this for you. But I don't know why you wouldn't just get a regular key replacement, since, you know, if these already were cut with this car's this car's, you know, ridges, then that would make sense. They were sort of a one-time use, unlock your doors, start your car, to drive you to get new keys, and it has two of them, but they don't really explain what they are, you know, and they're credit card size. So I'd assume at least that they'd be pre-cut and you could keep one in your wallet in case you ever lost your keys. But I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. I don't know what they are. But yeah, there's the manual. The fuse box up in there. There's the trunk release. It's got the wire wheel keys down in there. Safety pins for some odd reason. That doesn't like to shut. Is there paper in? Oh, there's paper in the way. I'm an idiot. Doesn't like to shut normally, but now it's hitting me. Like I said, power locks, power windows. The writing has worn off, so I put these on there just because it's the passenger seat. I remember, they still say it on the driver's side, but I figure, you know, somebody might not remember. Has the visors with these neat little dimming, you know, so if you're going out on the town, got your lady or, you know, whoever, and they're doing their makeup over here, they can see how they'll look in all the different lighting situations. It's got the, you know, the wood trim, little Dynasty logo. And the nice thing is, you know, as much as I like the chrome on the New Yorker, these were chrome encrusted, but that always wears off. So to a point, I am happy that I don't have that, even though I do like how it looks. Yeah, that's really it for the front seat. Oh, you have headrests, and they, I can never really get them to, they go up, but with one hand it's hard, and I don't, even whenever they're up, they don't really reach your head. You know, this is still whiplash era of cars. You have the middle bench seat that I can't imagine would be comfortable. You have your armrests with cup holder. Now, this is one of those things I'll never understand. This car came out in 88. Not this one, but the Dynasty came out in 88. And when it came out, you didn't have the airbag, and you had the older dash. One of the things the older dash had was you had your glove box. But then right here where the ashtray is, or maybe like right around here, but in this area was a cup holder that you'd pull out. You had one cup holder. You could pull it out again, and you had two. And it was sturdy, and it was attached to the dash. But whenever they redesigned the dash, they put it in this. And these are small. I mean, this is my hand. This barely fits a soda can. The only thing I found that fits in here is a small fast food beverage. Mediums sometimes fit, larges, no chance. And you know, but any ones that do fit, you know, they wiggle all around. These aren't, you know, sturdy, so it doesn't really have cup holders. But it has cup holders, you know. And again, it has the, you know, the armrests, which are nice. And the other reason why I'm happy to a point, it doesn't have the leather. Leather does not hold up in cars. As it gets sat on, you know, you have your wear lines, your cracks. The worst thing here, as you can see, some of the color has faded away. It doesn't look bad. It's only on the driver's seat, and you know, you barely notice it. These aren't the original floor mats, obviously, but they are blue. I ordered them online. They're terrible. They don't have any sort of grip. They slide all around. You need to figure something out with that. On camera, this is coming off as a gray, I think. You know, your monitor might differ, but it's really a deep blue. Well, this is a deep blue. It's a blue, too. I'll show you the rear seat. I love the handles in this car. I hated them when I first bought it, but like, you know, most car, you got your handle right here. You pull it, and then you have to push the car. Here, you rest your hand on this, put your fingers here, it pops open, and you push it out. I really enjoy that. Yeah, this one has the illuminated entry, which means every time you open any door or even pull the handle if they're locked, everything lights up. I'll show you the rear seat, which I don't think was ever used. I think if at the most the rear seat was sat in once, twice, because these seats, they are so comfortable. The front seats are comfortable too, but you can definitely feel that they've been, for lack of a better term, worn in. You know, they aren't, like I said, worn down, but there's, you know, in the driver's seat, you definitely sink a little. I sink a little more to the left than I would like, and I'm assuming that's the, you know, original owner's impression. But back here, like I said, I don't think they were ever sat in. They're so plush, they're cushy, you don't slide around. I really wish they still made cars like this. You know, it's just a couch. You're driving down the street, you feel like you're in your grandmother's living room. Now, there's enough, these seats are both, this one's all the way back. I know that. That one's a little prideful. But, you know, I'm not a short guy by any means. I'm right around 6 foot, and I have, you know, knee space, you know, and I'm even slouching a little. If I sit up, you know, like I was chatting with somebody, I have all the space I could need. You know, there's a good inch there. What I don't have is, and this is because of the power seats, I can't really put my feet anywhere. And if I had shoes on, you know, that's about as far forward as I can go. But I'm comfortable. Now, I don't have headrests, but I mean, again, whiplash era. As you can see, there's power windows back here too, and there's ashtrays, because, you know, everybody needs an ashtray. And this one actually still has a cigarette in it. I haven't cleaned that out yet because I'm weird and it's original enough. Power locks again. Hooks, which they don't fold up, they're just there. You can see the headliner in a bit more detail from back here. You have the little nifty reading lamps back here. I feel like these should turn and like adjust the light. I can't ever get them to do it, and I don't want to break anything. This is really neat. You have this little fold down armrest, and this was a standard in all the Dynasties. But because of, again, a package, you lift this up and then you can fold out and you have rear seat cup holders, which even my mom's 2011 Chevy Impala doesn't have. Again, they are very tiny and they are flimsy, and I wouldn't trust them. I'm never going to let anybody use them, but hey, it has them. The other thing this car doesn't have that's a little, I mean, I guess odd, it doesn't have any sort of storage pockets on the doors, front or rear. But as you can see, overall, it's in very nice shape. The interior is in the best shape of all. The only issues are, like I said, the dash is rising, which I can fix. The headliner, which I can fix. Even if, what worried me is, and I've been reassured from people I've talked to, like I said, a little side note, they just fall out. They just fall out. And I've been reassured that I should be good, is a color match. I should, see this one's, it's probably on the floor somewhere. Great. Right here. See that? Right here. Just a pin. They just fall out. So put it back in. The rear seats do have the original floor mats. And, you know, so you can see the carpet is, it's so soft. I almost feel bad driving this car sometimes because of just how good of condition it is. And I know it really isn't in that good a shape, but it's just almost, you know, funny how nice it is. And it's a nice car. It's a luxury car. And it's a luxury car from whenever you could get a luxury car made by a non-luxury brand. And, you know, what I mean is it's a Dodge. It's a Dodge luxury car. And luxury is it's a relative term because, like I said, there's features it doesn't have. You know, and in comparison to the Cadillacs of the times and even some of the Chrysler variant, there are features it doesn't have, but it was Dodge's flagship. And even nowadays, it seems like, you know, anything besides your luxury brand, you know, Chevy, Dodge, if you get a luxury car from one of them, it's sporty. Sporty is the only thing. You either have a sporty car or you have a luxury sporty car. You don't just have a car made for comfort. And that's what this is. I mean, look at these seats. They're like a lazy boy. It's crazy. You don't have adjustable seatbelts. That's, you know, I don't really care. These are, you have the little pop-up things that, you know, everybody remembers from when they were little. You have a big handle to pull the door's padded. Like, overall, it's a nice car. Got the bench seat in the front that you can't get anymore, you know, which I'm never going to have 6 people in this car, but it's nice to know I can, you know, and that's the biggest thing with this car. There are features I will never use. I'll never have 6 people. I'll never have anybody use the cup holders. I'll never probably use the cruise control, really. I don't care about the dimming mirror. But it has the same thing, that little rack on the trunk. I'll never use it, but it's neat that it has it. And that's the point, you know. The last thing I'm going to show you is the trunk, because it's got a big cavernous trunk. You can see Dynasty. The other side has this too, but it fell off. It's in the trunk. The trunk, just open it up, and look how big this is. You can fit you can go to Costco in this car. Fill it. Just fill it. That's kind of sad. The original owners were an older couple. Those are their canes. That's the cover from around the battery. Like I said, the guy I bought it from put a new battery in and he didn't put this back, so I have it in the trunk for right now with my CDs. This also came with the car, this little box. Came with a bunch of stuff in here. I got rid of most of it. This is my handiwork. This trim piece, as you can see, it screws in. The screw right here doesn't have anything it connects to anymore, so this thing sits too far up to let the trunk open. So until I find something that I can screw into here, I just have it, you know, duct taped so I can open and close the trunk. There's a little light up here, and it works if I push on it, but I can't figure out why it doesn't want to always work. This is neat here. You know, as you can see, I can never remember how to activate this. I'll show you whenever I shut the trunk. But if you listen closely and watch, it has the automatic closing trunk, which they don't do anymore because, you know, it'll cut your finger off. This is a sticker the original people had in it. It's an American flag. I need to get that off. Not because it's an American flag, you know, but because it's, well, I mean, you can just tell. Here's my little sticker. That's like the magnet I put on it. you know, all that. But like I said, it's in good shape for what it is. It really is.